Hello everyone and welcome back to Killer Shrew Fans Killer Toy Reviews. Today it's time for something completely different than what I usually do. I'm a little late to the game with this, but with it being nearly October and all, the time is right for Safari Ltd to be revealing their upcoming line of dinosaur toys and prehistoric models for 2021. I can't believe it's already October. This has just been the fastest worst year ever, am I right? Anywho, I've never done this before, so you'll have to bear with me. I wouldn't be surprised if I get everything totally wrong with this list, but I'm trying to be as analytical as possible with it. So to start off, let's just go over some facts and figures. The number of prehistoric figures produced by Safari has been going down these past few years. We went from a staggering 14 in 2018 to 11 in 2019 to a mere 9 in 2020. 2018 marks the biggest year yet for Safari since 2017, wherein we got 13 models. Of the 47 models from the past 4 years, we had 8 prehistoric mammals, 31 dinosaurs, and 8 non-dinosaur critters like Pteranodon, Dimetrodon, what have you. With how popular the 2017 range was, I imagine those profits allowed Safari to boost the line to 14 for the following year. They took a chance and made a majority of that line prehistoric mammals. Whereas I'm sure those models have a home with several collectors, I can't imagine the line was as popular as 2017. This is all speculation, but I imagine that the drop in profits resulted in Safari scaling back to 11 models for their 2019 line, and we all know how that went. Of the 8 dinosaurs we got, 1 was a repaint of an outdated Rex figure, and several of the new sculpts were met with either lukewarm reactions or even harsh criticism. I imagine sales dropped slightly once again because in 2020 we had a mere 9 prehistoric creature models. Although this was certainly a better year for figures, less figures always means less sales. Couple that with the strain that has been placed on potential buyers in the year of 2020 and you're looking at even less returns for not just Safari but any company. I know for a fact that both Safari and Collecta have come out and said they have taken hits with the pandemic, and because of that, I'm predicting even less figures to be produced for the 2021 lineup. If I had to wager a guess based on recent trends of Safari and the current state of things, I would say we would be lucky to get 6, no more than 7 new models for 2020. Repaints might pad out the line, but I would be very surprised to see Safari dumping thousands of dollars into new molds when there's been less going into their line these past few years. That being said, I have a few ideas of what I think they're going to do this year. I'm going to lay out my 6 predictions with a possible alternative for the 7th, and we'll see if I'm anywhere near the mark. I could be wrong. Maybe Safari is going to go all out this year in an attempt to recoup some losses, which would be awesome. But for now, I'll just predict my top 6 new models for Safari 2021. So right off the bat, we were missing some mainstays from this year's lineup. For 3 years prior to this, Safari has always produced at least 1 large sauropod figure and 1 Ceratopsian model. As of late, the large sauropods have been mostly based on figures from the wildly popular Carnegie line, and they are generally crowd pleasers. With that in mind, my first prediction from Safari for the 2021 year is an updated Brachiosaurus. The last Safari Brach we got was in 2010, predating the Carnegie offering by 2 years. With it being one of the last large sauropod figures needing an update from the Carnegie line, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the species make a comeback this year. I also think since it's such a popular species, Safari might decide to produce it as a surefire seller. In a similar vein to my first prediction, my second prediction from Safari Ltd would be some sort of Ceratopsian. I would personally love for them to make a Cosmoceratops since it's such a unique species that many brands are yet to show love to. But with the mindset of them trying to make well-known crowd pleasers, I think Spino Dude actually beat me to the punch with this one by predicting Centrosaurus. When you think of Ceratopsians, Safari has already produced many of the go-to names that come to mind. Centrosaurus, however, is one of the more popular species that is yet to get a model made of it by Safari. To that end, I'm going to agree with Spino Dude and also predict the Centrosaurus. If anything, I'm like 99% sure we'll see at least one Ceratopsian, some sort of Ceratopsian, from Safari this year. My next prediction is another Carnegie-inspired model. I'm thinking this could be the year we get an updated Cryolophosaurus from Safari Ltd. Theropods, they're always sellers, and the Cryo is one of the last waiting for an update from the Carnegie line, which Safari is doing a lot of lately. With both those ideas in mind, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Cryo this year. Prediction number 4, a Baryonyx. This is yet another figure that needs a redux from the Carnegie line. I know Spino Dude beat me to this one already too, but it makes sense to me as well. Spinosaurs are increasingly popular in this day and age, and after the mixed release of their latest Spinosaurus, I would think Safari would be chomping at the bit to get another relative out, to show that they can still make decent Spinosaurids. That, and the recent release of Fallen Kingdom might have kids interested in the species, so I can see Safari cashing in while trying to say, hey no, this is what a real Baryonyx looks like. Something Safari has been doing every year is producing a non-dinosaur prehistoric creature of some sort. They had a ton of mammals in 2018, which I imagine backfired because they only released one in 2019 and none in 2020. With that in mind, my 5th prediction will be an Edaphosaurus. Again, I'm trying to stick to popular species here. Edaphosaurus, though not as popular as Dimetrodon, is still seen alongside that animal in books and media, and has already been produced in model form by several other companies. Since Safari has already made a Dimetrodon, I wouldn't be surprised if we got an Edaphosaurus counterpart this year. And my final prediction, this one might seem strange at first, but bear with me. For 2021, I am predicting Safari to produce a new Tyrannosaurus Rex. Stay with me. Stay with me. Safari is obviously a brand that prides itself in its accuracy, but a lot has come out since Safari released their incredible feathered Rex in 2017 that has led to an overhaul of the animal's look. Lips, scale patches, the implication that there would be less feathers or none at all of that brings Safari's last original offering into question, which I'm sure they don't want. Also, I feel like they've been building to this. In 2019, we got the repaint of their old scaly Rex. Then this year, we got the strangely naked Chianzusaurus. Those two releases tell me that Safari is building to something and that those were simply produced to tide us over. And again, what dinosaur is more of a crowd pleaser than Tyrannosaurus Rex? If Safari was thinking in terms of profit, T-Rex is the way to go. A scientifically updated Tyrannosaurus Rex would sell like hotcakes to both collectors and children, so to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Again, I could be completely wrong with T-Rex, but I would be surprised if they didn't release at least one Tyrannosaurid for 2021 with how popular that family is. Spino Dude also mentioned an Albertosaurus in his predictions. I could definitely see that. It's a Carnegie offering that needs an update. Wouldn't surprise me if Safari did that this year and saved T-Rex for the next, but my official prediction will be T-Rex for 2021, just so that I don't copy Spino Dude too much with this list. But anyway, that is it for my official predictions. I hope we get more, but I wouldn't be shocked if this was a limited year and Safari chose to play it safe with their lineup. If I had to make a separate list including hopes and dreams, well, I already mentioned how I would love to see a Cosmoceratops. I would also love to see an Estamenasuchus and Scutosaurus. Ever since I heard Spino Dude mention those in his predictions, I was excited by that idea. I don't know if I see either of those species happening, given my own personal thought process behind my own predictions, but would love to see them nonetheless. I would also love to see Alranosaurus, always happy to have more Hadrosaurs, and would also really love a Majungasaurus. We always need more Abelisaurs in every lineup, if you ask me. So if Safari does make more, I hope it's any of those species. I really do. So there you have it, guys. That is my official prediction list for Safari's 2021 prehistoric line, plus some bonus hopes and dreams thrown in the event that they make more. I know I got beat to the punch on a couple of these, but I have been thinking about it for a while now, and when I heard others predicting the same thing I had been thinking, I totally agreed with what they were saying and where they were coming from. But as always, I want to know what your predictions are. What dinosaurs and prehistoric critters are you thinking we'll see from Safari this year? More models than I anticipate? More mammals? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments section below. It shouldn't be too long now before we get our first look at the lineup, and we'll see if anyone here got it right, myself included. As always, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again in the next video. This was a lot of fun to put together, and I think I'm going to go ahead and compile one for Papo pretty quick here. But until then, this is Killer Shrew Fan, signing off.